This is going to be exciting. I'm looking very forward to it. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another day where I aim to be more like the Proverbs 31 woman. This morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. as usual, but I didn't get to read my scriptures this morning. I aim to read it later today as I have a pretty cramped day today. However, I am going to hit the gym because as I'm going shopping, stay tuned to know what I'm going to buy. This is going to be exciting. I'm looking very forward to it. But as I'm going shopping, I have a pretty cramped time schedule. So after my shopping, I will be reading scripture and I'm going to do some grocery shopping. And I might take you along on my lunch today because I'm going to make a pretty good lunch and a pretty good dinner. So stay tuned for the rest. Let's head to the gym.
God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood, living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does, turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day, in every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day. No, it's great. Everything I prayed for didn't come in late. I got all I need and I didn't have to wait. Ask me if you love me, you didn't hesitate. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. Single way. God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. It's a good day. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
So this is my outfit today. I am not wearing any makeup because I'm going wedding dress shopping. I'm so excited, but I need to run out of the door because I'm running late. Bye! The shop I bought my wedding dress from is in another city, and when I got there I bought myself a matcha and I edited this video for you. But after that I got to try on my wedding dress. It was so exciting. This is the third dress I tried on. It is so beautiful. I really liked the dress. I think it was a good number 4, like the 4th favorite dress of all the dresses I tried on. The very first dress, however, was my favorite. It was the one I ended up buying it and I can't show it yet. However, I can show you the other dresses I tried on. We were all so excited for the dresses and they were so beautiful and they had so many dresses. This is the fourth dress I tried on. It has lace on the side and on the back, so it's a little bit more covered than the previous dress. It was very cute. We all liked the dress. However, I don't really like the back the way it was formed. And I'm not a big fan of lace, so it didn't make the cut. It didn't become my favorite dress. I think this might have been my least favorite dress because it had so much lace, and I'm not a big fan of that. My lovely friend made a video up close so you can see the details. As you can see the lace. It's very beautiful with flowers, and I truly believe that someone else would love the dress. However, I don't really like lace as I mentioned, so I didn't go for this dress, and I think it might have been my least favorite dress. As you might be able to see, I already picked out my fifth dress. I was looking around and this was a very beautiful dress. So she picked the dress for me and followed me in, and I tried it on. I would say this is a very big dress for my liking. I'm actually more of a minimal volume girl, so it wasn't fully my style, but I did think it was very beautiful. I would say this might have been the third favorite dress because I really like the off the shoulder detail. Up close, you can see the beautiful detail of the dress. It has beautiful lace, like tiny small flowers, and I really loved the beauty of this dress. However, it was way too big, and of course, I'm not a big fan of lace, so this didn't become my dress either. However, I mentioned that my very first dress was my favorite dress, so that's the dress I ended up picking in addition to one more dress, so I have two dresses. After shopping, we went outside and we had a cup of tea or coffee, or in my case, chai latte. We walked around and had a beautiful view of the city. It was such a beautiful day. Hey guys, I'm back from wedding dress shopping. It was so nice. I was so excited, and there was just so many beautiful dresses, and I picked the best dress, of course. But now let's get some lunch because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since my breakfast. So let's make lunch together. I'm gonna have some hummus, some avocados, some cherry tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes. I think I'm gonna put it on a piece of toast, and I will have 2 eggs. To make it extra delicious, I'm gonna have some parsley, and for a little kick, I'm gonna have some chili. The chilies I love the most are fresh cayenne chilies or cayenne peppers, but I really like the kick of it. Ooh, something extra delicious would be some spring onion, so I'm gonna try those. First, I'm gonna start boiling the eggs because that takes the longest, and I will chop up all the veggies in the meantime. So I'm gonna use half an avocado, which I love avocados. I might use all the tomatoes because there's just so little calories in cherry tomatoes that why not? If you love them, enjoy them. So let's toast the bread. Becoming healthier and fit isn't a decision you make once, it is a decision you dedicate yourself to every single day. Health and fitness aren't built in a single workout or a single meal. They are built in the small intentional choices we make every day, choices that fuel the body, support recovery, and help us feel strong from the inside out. Nutrition is not about restriction, it's about nourishment. And this meal is a perfect example of how simple whole ingredients can work together to support energy, strength, and overall well being. Let's start with avocado, rich, creamy, and deeply satisfying. Avocado is packed with heart healthy monosaturated fat. This fat helps support cardiovascular health, improve nutrient absorption, and keeps you feel full and focused for longer periods of time. Avocado also provides potassium, which supports muscle function and helps regulate fluid balance. Especially important for anyone who works out and lives an active lifestyle. Next, sun-dried tomatoes. Small in size but powerful in nutrition. Sun-dried tomatoes are concentrated sources of antioxidants, including lycopene. These compounds help fight oxidative stress in the body, supporting recovery and long-term health. Their natural sweetness and depth of flavor add satisfaction without the need of processed sugars or additives. Alongside them, colorful cherry tomatoes bring freshness and balance. Their vibrant red, yellow, and orange represent a wide range of phytonutrients that support immune health and reduce inflammation. High in vitamin C and water content, cherry tomatoes help with hydration and tissue repair. Two essentials for anyone prioritizing fitness and performance. Spring onions add more than just crunch and sharpness. They are a natural source of fiber and beneficial plant compounds that support digestion and gut health. A healthy gut plays a major role in nutrition absorption, energy levels, and even mental clarity. When digestion is supported, the body can do what it's designed to do, perform effectively. Fresh parsley may look like a garnish, but it's far more than decoration. Parsley provides vitamin A, C, and K, all of which supports immune function, bone health, and recovery. It also contains natural compounds that support detoxification processes in the body, helping you feel light, clean, and more balanced overall. Then comes fresh cayenne pepper. A small amount goes a long way. Cayenne contains capsaicin, a compound known to boost metabolism, improve circulation, and support fat oxidation. Beyond the physical benefits, the gentle heat wakes up your senses, reminding you that healthy food can still be bold, exciting, and deeply satisfying. Hummus plays a key supporting role in this meal. Made from chickpeas, hummus provide plant-based protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats. This combination helps stabilize blood sugar level and provides steady energy, no spikes, no crashes. It's the kind of fuel that supports endurance, focus, and sustained movement throughout the day. And finally, eggs, the foundation of strength. Eggs are one of nature's most complete protein sources, containing all essential amino acids needed for muscle repair and growth. They also provide important nutrients like choline, which supports brain health and muscle control, making eggs especially viable for both physical and mental performance. Together, these ingredients create balance, healthy fats to support hormones and brain function, high-quality protein to repair and build muscle, fiber and micronutrients to support digestion, immunity, and recovery. This is how smart nutrition looks like. Not extreme, not complicated, just intentional. When you eat this way, you're not just feeding hunger, you're fueling movement, strength, and longevity. You're giving your body what it needs to train harder, recover faster, and show up better day after day. Health and fitness aren't about perfection. They're about consistency, balance, and choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. And when your food is this vibrant, this nutritious, and this powerful, eating will stop feeling like a chore and starts feeling like self-respect. This is my lunch today. Due to wedding dress shopping, I'm having a pretty late lunch. Usually I will eat my lunch around 12 o'clock. Since I was wedding dress shopping up to 1 o'clock, this is a 2 o'clock lunch, pretty late. But I did have a cup of matcha and a cup of chai, so those were very good. And let's dive in. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I really am hungry. Haven't eaten since breakfast. I call this loaded toast. It's so good. So many flavors, just delicious. Let's get started on making dinner. While making dinner, I would like to reflect with you on this Bible study. It is the Proverbs 31 woman through the lenses of Job. This is an interesting one because often we look at the Proverbs 31 woman through the lens of Proverbs. Of course, this is the book where it's written. However, though the book of Proverbs describes her to be the godly woman most of us desire to become like, we are to remember that in the real world we face different difficulties that affects the way we present ourselves as a Proverbs 31 woman. The Proverbs 31 woman is often admired for what she does, her diligence, her discipline, her productivity. But scripture never presents her as untouched by hardship. She is not sheltered from suffering, nor insulated from uncertainty. To understand her fully, we must read her story alongside another, the story of Job. Because Proverbs 31 shows us faith lived out, and Job shows us faith tested. Together, they reveal what it actually means to walk wisely with God. In Job chapter 24, Job looks honestly at the world and asks a question many are afraid to voice. Why does injustice seem to go unanswered? Why does the wicked appear to prosper while the righteous suffer? He sees the poor pushed aside, the vulnerable ignored, the innocent left without protection, and he wonders where God's justice is. This matters because the Proverbs 31 woman does not live outside this reality. She lives in the same broken world Job describes. Yet scripture says she loves without fear of the future. Not because her future is predictable, but because her trust is anchored deeper than circumstances. Job's friends try to explain suffering with formulas. They argue that obedience guarantees blessings and pain always signals failure. But God will later correct them. Because faith is not transactional, it is relational. The Proverbs 31 woman understands this. Her obedience is not leverage. Her discipline is not a bargaining chip. Her productivity is not proof of worth. She works with willing hands, not to control outcomes, but to honor God in the ordinary. In Job 26, Job describes the vastness of God's power. The heavens stretched wide, and the seas held in place, the unseen depth of creation governed by his hand. And then Job says something profound. These are but the outskirts of his ways. Meaning, even the greatest things we understand about God are only whispers of who He truly is. This realization humbles us. And it leads us directly to Job 28, a chapter devoted entirely to wisdom. Job absorbs that humanity can mine the earth for gold, dig deep for silver, and uncover hidden treasures. But wisdom cannot be excavated. It cannot be bought, it cannot be achieved through effort alone. Then scripture declares, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. This is the foundation of Proverbs 31. The Proverbs 31 woman is not praised for her output, she is praised for her reverence. Her diligence flows from wisdom, not anxiety. Her productivity flows from trust, not fear of falling behind. In Job 27, Job makes a quiet but powerful declaration. Despite his suffering, he refuses to abandon his integrity. He says, I will maintain my righteousness and never let go of it. This is not arrogance, this is faithfulness. And we see the same strength in Proverbs 31. She is dependable, she is consistent, she is faithful over time. Not because life is easy, but because her heart is anchored. She shows up when no one applauds. She works even when outcomes are uncertain. She speaks with wisdom even when misunderstood. Then, beginning in Job 38, God speaks. But he does not explain suffering. Instead, he reveals himself. God reminds Job that the world is vast, that creation is complex, and that divine wisdom exceeds human understanding. Job is instructed to release his demand for understanding and embrace trust. And this is the posture the Proverbs 31 woman lives from. She plans, but she does not panic. She prepares, but she does not control. She works faithfully while resting in God's sovereignty. This is faithful productivity, not striving to earn favor, not hustling to outrun fear, but stewarding what God has given with peace. When Job finally responds in chapter 42, he says, "My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you." This is transformation, not the removal of hardship, but the deepening of vision. And this is the true goal. The Proverbs 31 woman is not born fully formed, she's grown. Grown through trust, grown through endurance, grown through wisdom learned in real life. Her strength is quiet, her confidence is steady, her joy is rooted beyond circumstances. She fears the Lord, and that fear is not terror, it is reverence. It is humility, it is surrender when answers do not come. So when scripture praises the Proverbs 31 woman, it is not praising a flawless woman, it is praising a faithful one. A woman who works diligently without praising productivity. A woman who prepares wisely without fearing the future. A woman who trusts God deeply, even when life feels more like Job than Proverbs 31. Because true wisdom and true womanhood is not about control. It is about reverence. And that woman, the one who fears the Lord, she is still being formed, even now. So let me know, how have you been formed by the Lord recently? How has He been speaking to you? Has He been revealing things to you that need to change or that you need to add to your routines? For me, it has been adding a moment of quietness before bedtime. In my case, this looks like going upstairs to the office, reflecting over my day, and even reflecting over tomorrow, noting down the things I need to do tomorrow, and slowing down before going to bed. And maybe even journal a little bit so that I can follow up with the answered prayers. Another thing I feel the Lord wants me to do, especially now that I'm so busy with wedding planning and my days are packed, is to post less videos. Instead of posting 2 videos a week, meaning 8 videos a month, I'll be posting 6 videos a month. And I hope that after the wedding in March or April that I will be back at posting 8 videos a month. Now back to the dinner. You might be wondering what I'm making today. Oven roasted lamb with creamy couscous salad. I'm making a dish that feels both comforting and a little bit special. Juicy oven roasted lamb served with a fresh creamy couscous salad packed with herbs, vegetables, and bright flavors. Let's start with the lamb. I'm using about 500 grams of lamb. Lamb has a rich, distinctive flavor on its own, so I don't need much seasoning. I keep it simple with salt, black pepper, and garlic. I wrap the seasoning well into the meat, making sure every side is coated so the flavors really sink in. Next, I heat the frying pan over high heat. I sear the lamb on all sides until it develops a deep golden brown crust. This step is key. It adds flavor, creates a beautiful surface, and helps lock in the juice so the meat stays tender after roasting. When the lamb is nicely browned, I transfer it to an oven-safe dish. But today I chose to keep the lamb in the pan and add some water in the pan. Usually I will add a splash of water into the oven-safe dish, just enough to prevent the meat from drying out. Then it goes into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius, right into the middle rack for about 25 minutes. While the lamb is in the oven, I move on to the couscous salad. For 4 people, I start with about 200 grams of couscous, prepared accordingly to the package instructions. Once it's cooled, I fluff it with a fork and let it cool slightly. Couscous is a great base. It is light, filling, and absorbs flavors beautifully. Now the vegetables and herbs. I finely chop spring onion, red onion, and chives. Then I add plenty of herbs, parsley and cilantro, which gives the salad a fresh, vibrant character. I slice the colorful cherry tomatoes for sweetness and acidity and dice cucumbers into small pieces for crunch and freshness. Finally, I finely chop sun-dried tomatoes which give a deep, savory flavor that really ties everything together. Next comes the creamy dressing. Since this recipe comes natural to me, I add the dressing into the salad, but for the recipe's sake we can use a bowl. In a bowl, we combined light cream cheese with light mayonnaise and the juice of 1 lime. This creates a dressing that is creamy but still fresh and balanced. I season it with salt, black pepper, garlic, and a touch of chili. Just enough to add warmth without overpowering the other flavors. To assemble the salad, I add both the herbs, vegetables, and couscous into one bowl. Then I gently fold in the dressing until everything is evenly coated. I taste and adjust the seasoning, adding more lime, salt, pepper, or chili if needed. And beyond the flavors, this meal is also nutritionally balanced. Lamb is a great source of high-quality protein, iron, and vitamin B12, which supports muscle function and energy levels. Couscous provides carbohydrates for sustained energy, while the vegetables and herbs add fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Using lighter dairy products in the dressing keeps the meal satisfying without feeling heavy. The final result is a dish that is colorful, fresh, and deeply satisfying, perfect for a relaxed dinner at home or for guests. Hey guys, I just wanted to close the vlog right here. I'm just reading some scripture, but the day was good. I'm sorry I didn't get to catch up with you after dinner. The day was pretty packed today, but it was very excited. However, dinner was good and delicious. The day was good. I picked out my dress, so wedding dress check. I'm so excited. Mission accomplished. So for now, I'm just going to read some scripture and read a prayer, maybe 1, 2, or 3, before I go to bed, so that I can wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow again. I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I hope that you will continue to follow me on my Proverbs 31 journey and on my Bible studies. And I hope that you grow closer to God through this channel and through your own prayer and quiet time. Bye!